I call this meeting to order at 5:02 p.m. Welcome to the Scholarships and Grants meeting 5616. For the record, the date is August 12th, 2026, and the time is 5:02 p.m. We are currently located in the CSUN Senate Chamber, SU 313R. We also may have senators joining us online through Zoom. All senators online should have their camera on during the full duration of the meeting. And at 5:02 p.m., I will now open a period of roll call. Chair Briones is here, Vice Chair Yelvington,
Present.
Senator Goodman is excused, Senator Hankins is excused, Senator King. Senator King. We'll circle back. Senator Mendez Loya.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Navarro Mendoza.
Present.
Senator Pui is excused. Senator Oliver.
Present.
Senator Sade is excused until 5:30 p.m. and Senator Sanchez.
Present.
Thank you. And then Senator King, can you hear us? She will be temporarily unexcused, but with 6 members still actively present, we're meeting quorum. And at 5:04 p.m., I close roll call and at the same time open item 1, land acknowledgement. The University of Nevada, Las Vegas wishes to acknowledge and honor the indigenous communities of this region and recognize that the university is situated on the traditional homelands of the Nuuvi Southern Paiute people. We offer gratitude for the land itself, for those who have stewarded it for generations, and for the opportunity to study, learn, work, and be in community with this land. I close land acknowledgement at 5:04 p.m. and at the same time open public comment. This is the time that anyone from the public may come and speak. Members of the public, you're limited to 3 minutes for your public comment. And please refrain from saying anything slanderous or any defamation of character, as I have the right to limit your comment. When you come to the podium, please state your first and last name and spell your last name for the record. Does anyone have any public comments in person? Does anyone have a public comment through the telephone line provided to the public? I'll allow 30 seconds for any call-ins or delays. Right, seeing none, I will now close public comment at 5:06 p.m. and at the same time open the approval of minutes. Are there any discrepancies from the 56:15 meeting minutes that were posted to the public? Seeing none, I will now go into a period of a voice vote on favor of the scholarships and grants 56:15 meeting minutes. Please say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed, say nay. With a vote of 6-0, the 56:15 meeting minutes have been approved. And at 5:06 p.m., I'll now close the approval of minutes, and at the same time, I will open item 5A, reviewing, or 5B, reviewing information of the Rebel Rebound Scholarship. Elgin, let me just go ahead and pull this up for you. Presentation. And then whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start algebra.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect, perfect. Okay. Again, my name is Elgin Lofton. Last name Lofton, Lofton. First and foremost, just want to thank you guys for just allowing me to come and really speak on what we do here, what we have been doing for four years now, and where you guys have played a major part in supporting our students. And so this is Rebel Rebound, our justice and system impacted students. Justice impacted mean where they have personally got in trouble with the law. System impacted mean where their parents, aunties, uncles, those who have provided for them, spend spend time in prison during their most traumatic years of growing up. And so again, well, estimated about 200. We have about 200 plus students, really closer to 300 that have some type of barrier going against them, not necessarily directly doing time, but just dealing with the law in essence, where a second DUI and it's something that will continue to hurt them and stop them from moving forward with the job process. We have three scholarship partners, $30,000, and like I said, 4+ years of growing. And so we can kind of go from there. Though we have the graduate school, and then we have Airmark, and everyone has just been really solid in helping our students, believing in the second chance. Next. And so who do we serve? Uh, we serve arrest or criminal charges students who have faced arrest charges or record of convictions at any stage of life, financially dependent, students financially dependent on parents or guardian who have been convicted or incarcerated, all academic levels, undergraduate, master's, and doctoral candidates. We serve students at every stage of their education while they're here at UNLV. This past year, we had two students who received their PhD, who, thanks to our university, who believe in a second chance and have followed through and gotten to the finish line. Any student whose life has been shaped by contact with the criminal justice system directly or indirectly. Next. Again, we spoke on this, and this is the reality. One in three American adults has a criminal record. That's today. 60% of justice impacted students finance college entirely on their own. And where we're at with that is that if many of our students don't get the chance of FAFSA, right? Many of our students where if you got in your crime, FAFSA just no. Well, I mean, we know you done your time. We know you paid your debt to society. We know you did all of that, but no. So, if you can come up with the money, you can do this, but if not. And so our organizations that we have here have played a part in helping our students, those who are at that point where they're ready. And so we're intentional about it. You just can't be like, I'm ready. You have to have proven to get yourself here. And then once you've gotten here, you got to continue to do it. And by the time, because of the obstacles that you are enduring, we know that you're at that point where I know I made some bad decisions and I'm hoping for a second chance through education, right? And then 70% of employees conduct background checks, create hiring barriers, and so that's gonna always be there. I did. It's so weird though. I can get a job at UNLV, right? But every year I'll go ahead and just put my McDonald's application in, and they'll deny me every year. And so I say to myself, and so I'm formally incarcerated. I did 15 years in federal penitentiary, came out, I believe I was given a second chance by our most recent president, not Hebe, but Hebe was about this. But our most recent, we had a meeting. He said, "This is what I want to do," and so, and we believe that you're the person to do it, and then you can carry it on and help those who have had this obstacle, and you can help them navigate. You kind of done it on your own. And so that is my job. Every student I get, I look right at them and I say, I've been here before. Let me show you how to get out of here, right? And then we move forward from there. Next. How many rebel rebounders on campus? Again, we spoke about that 200 to 300 number, and realistically, but technically, for those who want to come in and apply and try to get help and see and allow me to lay my hands and my wisdom out. And my wisdom is not from nothing that I acquire because of a big brain. My wisdom has come from my hard knocks. And then therefore I had to get up and learn, right? And so that's a different type of wisdom. And so technically we have 60. Those are the ones that we can continue to like help navigate, be there for them. Um, Parallel live experience is you just can't speak on enough of what parallel live experience does, because what that does is they know that you've been there and you can move forward. Well, and that is the reason why we have 60. That's the reason why we have only 60 opposed to 200, because the rest are scared. They believe once they come up and 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 confess to me, well, I can try to help them. They believe every time they go speak to any administrator, it's a big old sign that says felon, 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 felon. But that keeps them out the loop, and that keeps them from getting the help. Stigma's tough. And so, I have to play my role, and so I'm doing all that I can. Next. So scholarship partnerships. So I was told the unfortunate news that it probably will have to go down to 10 if everything works out right. But previously it was 12 students, and 12 students got $1,000, $500 a semester, because anything helps. That's where I'm at. Anything helps. And so Aramark, we're thankful for them, and they give 500 and 500. And then I'm really thankful for our gateway, and gateways come on strong, and they believe in this. At first they didn't. They was like, huh? There's like, no, people who done time aren't doing this. And so once they start seeing people getting their PhDs and their and going to 4.0 average getting their masters, they was like, okay, we have something for that. And so they've been on board for the last 2 years. CSUN and Airmark's been on for 4+ years. Next. And so application process and eligibility. And so this is how to apply. Submit a brief statement explaining why you qualify. Identify as justice or system impact. Then interview with rebound coordinators. Final selection made by everything. My director, she doesn't know much about the pro as far as like the intricacies of everything because I've been through it, I live it. But she is the person that I must go through and break everything down. And so my job is really just the process of making sure that, it's ways that when you're speaking to a person where you've been in and you've done time, where a person does some time, what's going on, how to research and find out these things, because a lot of times what we have here is that we have students who we get about 1,000 people who are in and they will say like, it's something that it'll just be like, I got a ticket. Right. And so we just have to go through the process because, and I'm not mad at them. Everybody's in a tough situation. Everybody needs to make a couple dollars to help them with their school process. But this is really for the students who have been through this right here, where it's a lot tougher and financially, I should say. And you see the eligibility right here, right? Undergraduates and graduate students, arrest, criminal record of conviction, financial dependent, minimum 2.5, 6 credits per semester, and then you have to meet with me twice a semester. Next. Second Chance Month. This is something that we do every year, and this has been beautiful. 3 years ago, our president, uh, came through with this and he has put this in the books, and so you can search anywhere. You can Google it. Second Chance Month. Biden did this, and actually it was initiated by Trump. And so you love anything that's partisan. Anything that's partisan, you love. And so when we have Biden just happened to make this constitutional in a sense. And so every April we go big and we celebrate it, and we have people who run our state, our Congress people come in, and our senators come in, and they celebrate this, and they speak on second chance. And so that's just big for not just UNLV, but even on an international level where people are seeing what's going on, and people are reaching out to the school and letting them know, man, I wish our school is ready. I wish we were able to do this. We're not quite there yet. All of our California schools are there, uh, but not everyone overall in the United States. Next. Okay, well, our tax and our acts, the people behind Road Rebound and what your investment means. And so I'm Elgin, and I pretty much the A through Z thing, but I do have to I do have someone I have to answer to. And so that is pretty much us too. But I'm pretty much dealing with everyone. And just being there for those. And I say the same thing for you guys. If you guys know people, those who are dealing with this and that are students here, have them come through, right? Because I can talk with them, I can feed them and let them know where they're at. At the same time, give them hope. At the same time, um, 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 just being able to navigate the resources of just being where I've been and having to go through it on my own. But now I'm able to spread the love, and now I was able to grow, right? And so that's where we want to be at. We can't keep just beating the person down, particularly when they have shown that they are sorry and the things that they have done, and they are paying it forward now, and they're trying to do the right thing. And so that's where we're at, though. And so I just want to thank you guys for giving me this time. I'm seeking for continuous assistance, and our students are graduating, right? And see, we wouldn't have a graduate program, right, if they weren't making it to the graduate level, right? And so that shows that what they're doing at the undergraduate level. And so again, I want to thank you guys, your team, and if you guys have any questions for me, I'm here. I'm here to answer them at this moment.
Right, thank you so much, Elgin. I'll now open up the floor to any questions or points of discussions. Senator Oliver?
Hi. Okay, sorry for the background noise. I just want to say thank you for the presentation. It was definitely very informative. Um, like I don't think we have a lot of conversations in CSUN about like this part of this population of UNLV, and it's really nice to see like genuinely how important of a population it is, and I feel like we don't really touch on it a lot. Definitely like happy that we support um this scholarship, and excited that we get to keep going with it for future years, and just great job on the presentation. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Senator
Thank you.
Oliver. Are there any other points of discussions or questions? Senator Navarro Mendoza?
Senator Navarro Mendoza for the record. Thank you, Elgin, for the presentation. It was very informative. I do have the privilege of working in the office where Elgin operates this Rebel Rebound program, and I can say firsthand that I've seen students like come into our office and kind of be lost and not sure where to go. And whenever they are looking for Elgin, he's always coming outside of his office with a smile on his face and answers any questions that they might have. So we really appreciate you, Alden. I know you do this basically by yourself. I know that Dr. Rogers doesn't necessarily have that much involvement in it, and I know that you are passionate about it because you do have that experience. So thank you again for all that you do. I had one question. You said that your scholars went from 12 to 10. I actually don't really know much about that. Why did that happen?
I'm not sure. I know the previous president the previous person, he was the one who brought it up to 12. And
Oh, okay.
so when I submitted the 12 names again, Miss Alba was like, I'm not sure on that, right? And so
Mhm.
I'm I can, I can seek some clarifications. I definitely would love to go up to. I have two more, right? If that's there though. And so again, it goes back to what I said previously, where is that we're just thankful for whatever we get. But if that option or if those funds are there for two more, man, I have two more. I have plenty
Yeah.
more, to be honest.
Yeah, that's good to know because I think we definitely have we got additional funding within our scholarship grants committee. I think we have about, I don't want to lie, 80,000-ish more currently. And we are looking and reviewing like all of these scholarships to see if there is opportunity because there are scholarships that no one applies for, you know. So we definitely love to hear that you have that engagement. So thank you for letting us know about that, and we'll keep you updated then with the funding. Thank you,
Thank you.
Elgin.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are there any other points of discussions or questions regarding the Rebel Rebound Scholarship? Seeing none, before I close out this agenda item, I also just wanted to thank you, Elgin, for coming out and presenting to us. I know the summertime can be pretty hectic, but I just wanted to thank you for taking the time out of your day to present to us about the Rebel Rebound Scholarship. And like echoing off of what Senator Navarro Mendoza said, we do have that budget where we are able to kind of move around and add some scholarship recipients onto other scholarships or just create new ones. So definitely just be on the lookout for that as we're just trying to get through all these presentations, but you're all set to go.
Perfect, perfect. Again, thank you guys. Thank you, every one of you guys. So is this a new team for the year coming up?
Up until October, like end of September, and then it'll be a new set of senators. You'll see familiar faces if we do decide to rerun for the term.
Right. No, that's fine. That's fine. I wish you guys the best. We got Rebel Ready Week coming up. So you guys got a lot going on here coming up. So I guess it's important that that teamwork stay strong. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Isaac. Thank you, team.
Thank you, Elgin. Bye.
All right now.
All right. And then with that, just I will close agenda item 5B at 5:24 p.m. and at the same time open 5C, reviewing information of the College of Education Field Experience Scholarship. Jonathan, let me just go ahead and open up this presentation and then whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you. Let me know when I can begin or when you're ready for me, please.
Okay, you're all good. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. First of all, hi, everybody. My name is John Barras, last name spelled Baras for your record. I wish I could say thank you to Elgin for presenting that. That was really eye-opening. I'm very new to UNLV, and I didn't know he did that. So that was amazing to see. I also just want to say thank you again and apologies for having to reschedule from our last session that we had on the books. They sent us on a work trip to Canada at the last minute. And so unfortunately, we weren't able to present last time, but here we are. And I hope that I can answer some of your questions later on. So again, my name is John Barras. I'm the coordinator for workforce engagement, licensure, and field placement for the College of Education. You very gratefully provide us with a scholarship for many of our students, about almost 200 of whom were eligible this year to receive funds during their field experience journey. And if we go to the next slide, I'll begin kind of explaining what that was all about. Thank you. So the scholarship is important and because it really helps us break down a big barrier in becoming a teacher. Our college is all about becoming teachers and becoming human services professionals like school counselors and school psychologists. The Educator Preparation Award year would be the year that the students are entering their second round of practicum or pre-student teaching. So for a little background on that, every teacher candidate has to go through 3 rounds of practicum. One would be practicum 1, or just practicum. Then the second would be practicum 2 or pre-student teaching, depending on what major it is. And then finally, student teaching. If they're in practicum 2 in this coming fall 2026 semester, they are eligible for this award. Now, a little bit more background on practicum 2. When students are enrolled in practicum 2 / pre-student teaching, depending on the major, they're working at a school, doing observation hours and doing some teaching hours for 225 unpaid hours. As a former teacher, I used to be a middle school special education teacher before coming to UNLV. I can tell you that 1 hour of teaching is extremely difficult work. These students are going and doing 225 practicum 2 hours without any training, and those hours are completely unpaid. After this coming semester, starting in the spring, any student who was in practicum 2 or pre-student teaching in the fall move into student teaching. And that session, that round of practicum is 600 unpaid hours, more than double the amount of unpaid hours from the previous semester. That means that our students getting this award or eligible to apply for this award are working up to 825 unpaid hours across the school year, across that scholarship year. For those that are not teacher candidates, they have to finish off their degree program by doing 2 straight semesters of internship 1 and internship 2. This award is eligible for those that are starting internship 1 in fall 26 and therefore internship 2 in spring 27. That internship, like the student teaching, is unpaid time. They're working approximately 180 hours per semester. These field placements are required for graduation. They're required for licensure, teacher licensure, but they reduce the amount of time students can work for money. It also costs money to get to these placements. Imagine taking the bus every day to student teach. You're paying for a fare. You're paying for a taxi if you don't have a car. You're putting mileage on your car, paying for gas money, all to go and teach the children of Las Vegas and really the rest of the state for free, 825 hours throughout the year. I used to do it full time. Never felt like it was enough money. So unpaid is a pretty big deal. This scholarship is crucial because it helps absorb that collision between preparation and income. It's a big barrier breaker for the financial needs that these students have. Next slide, please, and thank you. A little bit about what it's like to actually work in the field, because the barrier is not just during field placement. The barrier exists after graduation too. A starting teacher salary in CCSD is only $57,471. Imagine that. 3 years ago in 2023, it was only 6.2% lower at about $50,000 and some dollars. That means over 3 years, the starting salary for a teacher in CCSD grew only 6.2%, which is well below the rate of inflation. This growth is salary growth for teachers, even after their first year, is not always guaranteed. Growth for teachers is granted after years of coursework, after years of professional development, and after years of professional contributions. So although that starting salary is $57,471, it stays pretty close to that for a while. Thing is, our teachers work in other districts besides CCSD, more rural districts in other parts of Nevada, northern Nevada, all around the state. And CCSD is actually pretty much the highest paid district in the state, outside of one exception. The average starting salary around the entire state is $50,200, which is far lower than that starting salary in CCSD. And this is that starting salary that all of our graduating students are going to. It sometimes gets worse though. When charter schools are the ones hiring our teachers, our students that are becoming teachers, well, charter schools typically offer significantly lower starting salaries than CCSD and other public districts. And that salary does not grow at nearly the same level, if at all. I spoke with a student today who was facing a crisis. She either had to sign up for a good school for $36,000 a year, or for a not as good school in her view for $50,000 a year. It's a tough choice when you're entering your first year in the profession. And unfortunately, and I'm going to get into this a little bit later, most available positions in the state are at charters. So they are forced to pick either a school offering an exceptionally low salary or a school offering a low salary. Next slide, please, and thanks. So a little bit about the history of how our award has been awarded recently. And just for context, I started here at the College of Ed. I moved here to Nevada in December. So this was my first year working with the scholarship. So these are the numbers that were happening before I was around. In the 24 to 25 year, there were 18 total applicants, 5 awards, which is 28% of the applicants that were awarded. They were given $2,000 each for a total of $10,000. The following year, we saw a big uptick in applicants. This is still before I was here. 56 applicants. We were able to give out 6 awards, thankfully, which was 11% funded for a total of $12,000. So what's that gap look like? Well, from 25 to 24 or 24 to 25, we had a 211% increase in applications, a 20% increase in total awards. The demand for this funding far outpaced the reach we were able to make. Next slide, please. And thank you. Unfortunately, this past semester, our total amount of applicants did slip. And I'm going to go into reasons why I think that might be in a second. We only got 20 applicants this time around. With 6 awards, we were thankfully able to give funding to 30% of those applicants. But we thought a lot why we had lower applicants, even though our enrollment did not really change. Next slide, please. So possible, this is not proven research, but possible factors to the declining application rate. And this goes to show more about what our teachers are experiencing once they get to the field. There was a lot of worrisome news from the workforce. CCSD was surplusing their teachers. That means that they had too many teachers on payroll and not enough vacancies. In essence, teachers were losing their jobs. So if teachers were losing their jobs, what new positions were there available to our graduates? For a while, none. There was something called a RIF happening in CCSD. That means a reduction in force. So with surplusing, teachers are moved from one school to another involuntarily. But with RIF, or reduction in force, teachers are losing their jobs, losing their pay. This resulted in a hiring freeze for almost the entire summer. CCSD was not accepting applicants for new hires throughout the entire summer. Therefore, the only schools that had positions available, the only schools that were even interviewing teachers, were low-paying charter schools. Charter schools that many of our graduates from this past semester in the spring were forced to sign contracts with at low salaries. All of this did was create more financial barriers for our graduates, which increased the need for funding before they even got to that point. Next slide, please, and thank you. Thankfully, some better news did arise in just the last couple of weeks. The CCSD hiring freeze was lifted very recently. Some of our graduates are finding last-second positions at CCSD schools. Some charter schools are recognizing a need to stay competitive and lifting that lowest salary that they offer, but keyword there is some. Your continued support can and will be more good news and more financial relief from these financial barriers. Next, please. So how did the actual scholarship work? How did we select recipients? Students had to meet this criterion. In the fall, they had to be enrolled in Practicum 2 or pre-student teaching. Depending on no matter which major they are in, that's their second round, their second of 3 rounds of practica, of field experience. Or they had to be in their first human services internship, which was their first of 2 rounds of internship. Therefore, in the spring, this coming spring, 2027, they had to be in student teaching or their final human services internship. which means they were graduating immediately after. They had to have a minimum of a 2.75 cumulative GPA, which the overwhelming majority of our students do have. So that was not a reason that they weren't applying. And at least they had to be enrolled in at least 6 UNLV credits each semester. This is an almost impossible thing not to do because student teaching itself is a 10 credit course. Practicum 2 is a 3 credit course with several co-requisites. So this did not exclude anybody. The equitable award design, well, we were able to give one recipient from each of the 5 majors at our college an award, plus we were given one extra award, thankfully. We also did a blind review of all of the applications. Next, please. Oh God, I got nervous. That was the last one you had. Thank you. So when I took over the application, I thought that there were some rooms for improvement. As a former teacher, it was really important to me that the applicants knew exactly how they were being evaluated and had a choice in how they applied. I made sure that the Google form we used to collect applications had a visible rubric, the exact same rubric we were using for evaluating their responses. And we increased the amount of response options they had from 1 to 3. So in previous years, they could pick one question, but not pick. They had to answer one question as their application. This time we gave them 3 different questions to pick from, and they only had to respond to one. I had a belief that this would lead to a more equitable outcome and more transparency in how they were being evaluated. Each of the questions we wrote were aligned with the college's and UNLV's mission and vision and had a connection to the need or a possible connection to the need for financial relief. Next slide, please. But like I said, we only got 20 applicants, so we do have some room to improve there. But I do think that the rubric we made, which is very similar to one I use as a teacher, had its benefits. The rubric rewarded connection to the selected prompt and college mission. It rewarded a clear, organized communication. It rewarded thoughtful reflection and original insight. It rewarded substance over writing polish alone. So we were looking for what they were saying and not just grammatical errors and spelling errors. I didn't care about that at all. And we needed to see that there was a demonstrated need to break a barrier, which of course all of our students have, but if we're speaking about equity, some students have more than others. This increase or improved process protected was a blind review except for majors. So we didn't look at student names. We didn't look at any other identifiable information other than their major. We used a common rubric for every single response, representation across all 5 of our majors, and space for applicants to share relevant context that wasn't asked for in the question. Next slide, please. So again, while I think we've made some improvements, we always have areas for improvement. Continued. So what's working well? Well, we do a lot of targeted marketing and promotion to students that meet all eligibility requirements. We don't just send a big email blast to our entire college. We send email blasts to those about to enroll in the course required to be eligible for this, this scholarship. For areas for our partnership in general with CSUN is also what's working well, although I'm new to it, so I welcome any feedback from all of you. Our areas for improvement, we need to continue targeting and meeting students where they are by visiting classrooms, visiting them in the field. Like I said, this is eligible for students entering their 2nd round of practicum, but why not meet them in their 1st round of practicum while they're in the field the semester before they apply? That's my plan for this coming year. And of course, areas for improvement, additional funding is always appreciated. Next slide, please. So I end you with saying I would like and love for us to continue this partnership. Any opportunity to increase the amount of funding we can get for it would be greatly appreciated because, well, our students need it, not only to fund that field experience part of their journey, but even their 1st year to up to many years as teachers in the field. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much, John. Let me go ahead and open up the floor to any questions or points of discussions. Are there
Please,
any? Right. Seeing none,
Oh.
before I do close out the agenda item, I also just wanted to say thank you for your hard work. I know there was a transition happening within who was kind of housing the scholarship and all of its logistics, but we just wanted to thank you and we're excited to further work with you for this upcoming semester and then also the new senators who are in the committee as well after that. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or anyone on the committee, but you're all set to go.
All right. Thank you all so much. I appreciate working with you. Take care. Be safe.
John,
Thank
bye.
you.
Right, with that said, I will close agenda item 5C, reviewing information of the College of Education Field Experience Scholarship at 5:42 PM and at the same time open for a chair's report. I don't have much to report on other than a few senators have already reached out regarding one-time sponsorships. So we're gonna be seeing some bills later on in these next few weeks. So just make sure to go ahead and look out for those. And if any of you still do have ideas, keep them coming. Feel free to reach out to me and Senator Yelvington. If you guys do have ideas, that way we can kind of assist you guys with that. We will be responding to emails regarding making these bills onto the agenda. So we'll be focusing on that the next few weeks. And along with that, I didn't want to wait until after our last two scholarships are presented. So we're going to be transitioning on to just focusing on these one-time sponsorships before the school year or before the term ends for us. So we're gonna be having a mix of those two scholarship reviews, which is gonna be the Barbara Agonia Scholarship, and as well as the Able and Advancing Scholarship. So you'll be seeing those on the next few agendas as well. Again, if you guys have any ideas, reach out to myself or Senator Yelvington. That way we can get you guys started with those bills, how it works, all of that stuff. And we'll also be having a work session on marketing and the timeline basically of how marketing is within scholarships and grants. And as well as any ideas that you guys have, because we can always improve on marketing within our scholarships and grants. But other than that, that's basically it. Our next meeting is either gonna be next week or we'll have a break until the second week of school, just cause I didn't wanna schedule a meeting, first week of school for you guys. But other than that, I will close agenda item for a chair's report at 5:45 PM and at the same time open vice chair's report.
Senator Yellington for the record. Hey guys. I just wanted to say I don't really have a report, but hope you all are well. I'll be back soon. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, reach out. Emily, I will get back to you on the thing. Yep, you know. Okay. Thank you guys.
Right, thank you, Vice Chair Yellington. I'll close 4B at 5:45 PM and at the same time open 4C Advisors Report. Advisor Palacios?
Hi, everyone. I also don't have a report. I think what I was going to mention you did in your report already, Isaac. So, yeah, I was just like, if anybody has any questions, sorry, uh, regarding any ideas that you all have, I'm always here.
Thank you, Advisor Palacios. Also, before we do close out on that, just to add, I forgot to add it into my report, but you can find the presentation for one-time sponsorships or one-time scholarships on the 5603 meeting folder. So if you guys did want some more knowledge on how to create it or just the rundown of a one-time sponsorship, it'll also be on there, but we'll be representing the presentation in our next meeting. But at 5:46 PM, I will close agenda item 4C, advisor's report, and at the same time, open public comment. Sorry. This is the time that anyone from the public may come and speak. Members of the public, you're limited to 3 minutes for your public comment. Please refrain from saying anything slanderous or any defamation of character, as I have the right to limit your response. When you come to the podium, please state your first and last name and spell your last name for the record. Does anyone have a public comment in person? Okay. Yeah.
Hi everyone, Nancy Munoz for the record, MUNOZ. I just wanted to let you guys know that the CSUN Bootcamp invitation on your calendar has been sent already. It's for August 29th, so if you haven't already, please make sure to accept that calendar invite. And I also wanted to remind everyone that there's going to be an after social. We're going to be heading over to the first UNLV home game, so if you are available, please attend. It's going to be super fun. You just have to send your phone number to our associate director, Maddie, and she's going to create a group chat. But we're probably going to head over together in one of the buses, which is like $4. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know, and I hope you guys will be there. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Chief of Staff Munoz. Are there any other public comments in person? Right, do we have any public comments through the telephone line provided to the public? I'll allow 30 seconds for any call-ins or delays. Right, seeing none, I will now close public comment at 5:48 PM and at the same time adjourn this meeting. All right, thank you guys. I'll let you guys know when our next meeting is. It's either gonna be next week or 3 weeks from now.
Part 3.
3 weeks from now. So just be on the lookout for an email. Bye, guys.
Thank you, bye.
Bye. See you guys soon. Soon.
Soon is so crazy, right? Like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm actually really excited about this.
Yeah, really?
Yes, I'm like actually like I've been waiting for it to.
Dude, you